My name is Sophie, and I used to think toys were just harmless things for children. But after what happened last summer, I'll never see them the same way again. It started when my family moved into an old rented house on the edge of a small town in Maine. The house looked tired, its paint peeling, porch creaking, and backyard filled with weeds. My parents loved it because it was cheap. I didn't love it at all. The moment we stepped inside, the air felt heavy, like something was waiting. But the strangest part wasn't the house itself. It was what I found in the attic. On the first night, I went exploring. The attic door was hidden behind a bookshelf, small and stiff from years of not being used. I pulled it open and climbed the narrow stairs. The air was thick with dust, and cobwebs brushed my face as I stepped inside. That's when I saw it. A toy. It was a clown doll, sitting alone on a wooden chair. Its colors were faded, one button eye missing, and its stitched smile was too wide, almost mocking. The fabric on its arms was worn, like someone had clutched it too many times. A red hat drooped on its head. I hate clowns. Always have. I turned to leave, but something made me freeze. The doll wasn't sitting straight anymore. It leaned slightly to the left. I could have sworn it had been upright seconds earlier. I whispered to myself, "Old fabric just sags." But I didn't really believe it. That night, as I tried to sleep, I heard it. A soft thump. Then another, like small footsteps on the hallway floor outside my room. I held my breath, my heart pounding. The sound grew closer and stopped right outside my door. The doorknob rattled. Slowly, I pulled the blanket up to my chin, too scared to move. But the door never opened. The next morning, I told myself it was nothing. A new house, strange noises, and a tired mind. But when I walked into the kitchen, I froze. The clown doll. It was sitting at the table, facing me. I hadn't brought it down from the attic. Nobody had. "Mom?" I asked carefully. "Did you put that doll here?" She frowned. "What doll?" I turned back to point. The chair was empty. The doll was gone. From then on, the toy started appearing everywhere. In the bathroom sink, on the living room couch, and once, beside my pillow when I woke up. No one else ever saw it. To my parents, it didn't exist. But I knew it was real, and it was moving. One night, desperate to prove I wasn't crazy, I set up my phone camera in my room. I placed the clown doll in the middle of the floor and hit record. At 2 a.m., I woke to the sound of soft fabric dragging. My heart froze. The clown was no longer lying on the floor. It was standing. On its short legs, its stitched grin aimed right at me. I screamed and pulled the blanket over my face. My parents ran in and turned on the lights, asking what was wrong. But the doll was gone. When I checked my phone in the morning, the video was corrupted. Static, nothing else. I couldn't take it anymore. The next day, I dragged the clown outside. My hands shook as I poured gasoline over it and struck a match. The flames spread quickly, swallowing the fabric. I sighed in relief. But then I heard it. A laugh. A soft, high-pitched giggle, like a child's. The fire hissed and went out in an instant. And there, untouched by the flames, sat the doll, smiling wider than before. That night, I begged my parents to move. They told me I was making things up because I didn't like the house. But I knew the truth. The toy was alive, and it wanted me. The final straw came 3 nights later. I woke to the sound of breathing. Not mine. Something heavier, slower. When I opened my eyes, the clown doll was lying on my chest. Its one button eye stared into mine, and its stitched smile stretched impossibly wide. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. My body was frozen. The tiny fabric hands pressed against my ribs, making it harder to breathe. My lungs burned, and then it whispered, "Play with me." I must have fainted. When I woke in the morning, the doll was gone. But scratched into the wooden floor beside my bed were words written in jagged letters, "See you tonight." I never told anyone what happened after that night, but 2 weeks later, the house burned down in a strange electrical fire. My family escaped unharmed. The firefighters said everything inside had been destroyed. Everything, except one thing. They found it sitting on the curb outside. The clown doll. Perfect, smiling, waiting. And sometimes, even now, when I close my eyes at night, I hear that same voice whispering in the dark, "Play with me, Sophie." So, tell me in the comments, what would you do if a toy in your house started moving on its own? Would you burn it, throw it away, or would you run before it found you in your sleep? Imagine waking up at night to see it sitting at the edge of your bed, watching, waiting. Would you have the courage to face it, or would you pray it disappears before the morning light? Share your thoughts, because sometimes the scariest stories aren't in books or movies. They're the ones waiting in the dark corners of your own home.